Yo, 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 Big Kish back up in here. The Ville got some behind the scenes footage. Hey, check this out. Act running around here talking about he done popped up on Kendrick Lamar at his concerts, right? But he ain't telling nobody how he got ran up on. Yeah, you are not going to want to click off this video. Let's get the likes up. Check this out. This is an exclusive. We got exclusive video. We got exclusive footage. Y'all already know how the Ville give it up. We about to get into it. But before we get into that, y'all make sure y'all pick y'all up a copy of Street Dad, Geek Dad, Avoiding the Manufactured Mindset, written by me, Big Kish. The link will be in the description for purchase. Listen, check this out, man. You are not going to want to click off this video. Watch this, y'all. Check this out. Y'all know how the Ville give it up. Watch this. Y'all know I don't like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
I'm in the middle of the trenches. I'm in the middle of the K-Boss right now.
So it looks like Akademiks didn't stop
Watch
going
this.
to concerts. It
Watch
looks
this.
like the weekend concert, after getting lined up by his manager, wasn't enough. It looks like he wanted to prove a point that he's still somebody that could go wherever he wants. And he decided to go to the GNX concert with Kendrick Lamar and SZA. Now, this wasn't really a good idea. You could see here he's in a suite. Now, if you don't know, a suite is a room that you pay for to see the show. You know, it's a little bit more private, despite the view. Looks very far from the, the view that you would rather prefer. This is a place where people decide to go to if they want to have some privacy. Of course, Akademiks doesn't want to get bothered. There's a reason why he chose these seats.
Hey, look! Talk that talk! He had to get a suite. He couldn't mingle with the people. He couldn't mingle with the people. He needed binoculars and all of that.
Assuming that he thought that he was safe being in the suite from the average fan, from the regular goers, from everybody else that's just normal buying tickets and just going to see the show. While he's in this suite, while he thinks that he has this privacy, he gets confronted. He gets confronted by none other than Anthony Saleh, which is Kendrick Lamar's manager, and Dave Free, which is
You don't hear him talking. I mean, he talked about it in the live. He was like, yeah, we had a conversation, but we'll just keep it at. He got pressed. He got pressed. Akademiks just got pressed, y'all. He got pressed. Let's get it. Let's get it.
just Kendrick Lamar's business partner for PG Lang and longtime friend. Now, we all know that these two gentlemen were name dropped by Drake in the beef. Anthony Saleh was somebody that Drake was antagonizing before Kendrick Lamar had dropped any music, before he had dropped 616 in LA and all that. Drake.
Remember when Kendrick was like harassing Ant, messing with good people, make good people go to bat. He was like, even Ackler can compromise. Let's pull the layers back. Messing with good people, harassing Ant, messing with good people, make good. That's who we talking about right there. Ville putting it all together. Check it out, y'all.
Drake was online talking smack about Anthony Saleh. He was putting posts online about him, doing all of these things, trying to get Kendrick Lamar to respond. It wasn't until 616 in LA had came out where Kendrick Lamar had said in the second verse, yeah, somebody lying. I could see the vibes on Act. Even he looking compromised. Let's peel the layers back. Ain't no brownie points for beating your chest, harassing Ant. Effing with good people make good people go to bat. So you can see clearly that this was somebody that was mentioned right after that bar about Akademiks was mentioned. It's funny how these two people have finally met up in person that were talked about in the 616 in LA verse. Another person that pops up.
And notice when Act was going live, he was not. I ain't talking about when he was in his hotel room. I ain't talking about that live. I'm talking about the live when he was at the gym. He toned it down a little bit. He toned it down a little. I think they probably pressed him, and then he started back with it. Look, we got to observe that some more. Check it out.
Up is Dave Free. We know that Dave Free was somebody that Drake had mentioned multiple times, had said a lot of things, accusing him of being the father of Kendrick's children. All of these outrageous things to say about Dave Free and Kendrick and their dynamic as a friendship, talking about their kids, talking about the wives and all of this stuff. Very inappropriate, but this was during the beef. And Dave Free was talked about by Drake and Anthony Saleh as well. Going back to Akademiks was somebody who was approached by Anthony Saleh and Dave Free. He thought that shit was sweet in this suite. He thought that he wasn't going to get touched. But it looks like after posting constantly at the concert, because he was posting this in his story at the same time as it's going on, eventually, I'm assuming in my mind, Anthony Saleh and Dave Free figured out where Akademiks was staying. Because right after Akademiks started posting to his story, they ended up meeting with him in the suite that he was staying in. Obviously, if they
come here. Let me talk to you. Let me talk to you right quick. Come here. Matt, put your phone down. Let me holler at you right quick, man. Come over here, boy.
see that Akademiks is in one of the suites watching the show, they're just going to get the drop on him and find out where exactly he's at so they could go and confront him. This is where they start to confront him. And eventually, after the scenario, Akademiks goes on live stream to talk about it.
Anthony Saleh, which I think is a manager. I think he's a manager. Me and him, we actually chopped it up. You know, we actually sat down, we were talking until Euphoria came out. Euphoria, I was like, hold on, brother, I got to listen to Euphoria. And then Dave Free popped up. And me and Dave Free, you know,
he trying to show them that he a real Kendrick fan. Hold on, listen, I got to listen to Euphoria. No, bro, you heard Euphoria. We know that. I think that's the song that was on his #1 listen to on his playlist too. Oh, hold on. He bruh.
You know, that was the first conversation since pretty much 2022, I think. And, you know, at the end of the day, positive vibes. Clearly, you know, they have a POV. I got a different POV. Most of all, I think the conversation was, they were trying to see, like, yo, are we into it or we? And I'm like, nigga, at the end of the day, I'm doing my job here. You get what I'm?
So clearly, Akademiks gets confronted. He doesn't want to say,
bruh, tell a whole story, bro. Tell a whole story, bro. Tell a whole story. You know when somebody telling their version of the story, they want to leave stuff out. But
he did get confronted. He was posting on his Instagram stories, acting like he was untouchable from this suite that was blocking everybody else from interacting with him. However, that wasn't going to interfere with Anthony Saleh and Dave Free getting ready to confront him. Don't let the calm demeanor fool you. Akademiks definitely got confronted by Anthony Saleh and Dave Free.
He got pressed.
I'm saying my opinion is going to lean a certain way because y'all know what type of music I like.
That's how you know he got pressed. Y'all just heard he said, "Mom." When he's stuttering, that mean he getting pressed.
But, you know, one thing I did agree with them with, you know, some of this shit should de-escalate. And, you know, whether it's fan influenced or whoever else has connected to it, if it's possible, especially when it brings in third parties and family or shit like that, that shit, there's no place for that. Not shit that I'm necessarily doing, because I don't speak about, give two fucks about, you know, talking about that. But at the end of the day, you know, I think there were respectful conversations. I think they understand my POV. Yeah, brother, at the end of the day, Drake my favorite artist. Like, my nigga, like, what do you I don't care if I show up here today or tomorrow, the next day. Cool. Now, I understand their POV too. Bro, that, you know, cool. You could kind of fall over that type of side when it comes to your music opinions. But, man, that battle been over, man. We not trying to keep digging holes where now people are, you know, people that ain't public with it. So, you know, when we talking about like families, and don't bring families.
It's just so funny to me because Akademiks acts very dismissive in this scenario. Yeah. He acts like, hey, man, you know, this beef has been running on for too long. I mean, none of us should really be going at it like this. I know I understand your point of view and I have my own point of view, but it's like, bro, you have Akademiks TV. You have that Twitter channel. You have that Twitter account that's run by somebody else, constantly posting about Kendrick Lamar and other things, trying to talk down on them, you know. And then the other thing is that when you say things, it gets repeated by other people because you keep covering it. However, the conversation continues. And Akademiks says that they had told him more. I just think that it's funny how dismissive he acts in public, but he has a lot to say.
He ain't telling us the full story, y'all. Don't believe this guy. He not telling us the full story. This is why he breezed past it so fast. Like, yo, man, this is just, I'm just being the journalist. I'm just Akademiks. Yeah, this ain't nothing real. Nah, bro. Tell the whole story of what Ant and Dave Free said to you, bro. Tell the whole story, bro.
To say about the beef and others when he's in private, when he's by himself. The tone definitely changes when he's in front of these people face to face, kind of like how Drewski was in front of Kendrick Lamar yesterday or the day before. Akademiks is trying to take the stance about not bringing families into it. He's going to try to defend Drake when Drake was the one that was talking about family in the first place.
It's the first time I talked to Dave Free in a while. You know, I'm gonna pray for you know, I did say this to Anthony Saleh. I said, the reality of what's happening now.
Cat got his tongue.
Because one thing I could say, okay? Both of them agreed and said, we understand that this musical feud is divisive. It has been good for music, and, you know, we did our thing and we're happy about it. But it is at the point where it's gotten personal, and the parts we don't like about it is when ancillary people get consistently thrown in the mix. Their lives are people are picking apart, people are digging into this, that, and the third about this, that, and the third. And what I told both of those men, because
why, when you speaking from their perspective, is oh yeah, and they say yeah this, that, and the third. But when you speaking from your perspective, you know word for word. Or you just forgot everything that they said to you, huh? I'm telling you, he being selective. He being selective. Y'all don't fall for this. Do not fall for what he's talking about right now. He lying. Somebody's lying. I see somebody lying.
They even said, yo, act like, like some of your platforms echo some of this stuff.
A lot of the things that are repeated are coming from Akademiks himself. A lot of things that are being said online are usually things that are stemming from Akademiks' alternate account on Twitter. Akademiks is going to try to claim that these narratives are going on both sides. But when it came to Dave Free and Anthony Saleh, one thing that you have to understand is that Drake was the person that had brought these individuals up. He could have just talked about Kendrick Lamar. And that's another thing, too. I don't think that Kendrick would have brought up the family. I don't think that he would have brought up his dad, his mom, his son, not even the people on his team like Baca and everybody else like that. If it was just one-on-one, let's just talk about each other, I don't think it would have gotten that far. But we all know, as history goes, Drake was the one that brought up everything himself. He was the one that brought up family and friends. It says Drake keeps trolling, this time sharing a pic of the manager of Kendrick Lamar in Future. Is today the day? This is what he had posted when he shares this. He says, wonder if today is the day. Now, keep in mind, this post was on April 16th, 2024. It wasn't until May 3rd where Kendrick was going up and defending Anthony Saleh and Dave Free after this. So clearly, the person that was talking about Anthony Saleh and everybody else first was Drake. And the people that Drake had mentioned are now confronting Akademiks. Why? Because they want to see how close
Drake has to bring other people's wives and other people's children in it. You know why? Because the metaphors ain't reaching. When the metaphors ain't reaching him, he gotta go to. He gotta go. He's starting this stuff. He's starting it all.
Close are you to Drake? What's going on with you and Drake? Similar to how The Weeknd and his manager had lined him up in the last concert, except in this case, I think Akademiks ended up lining himself up by getting too confident after that Weeknd concert. I'm gonna just be real.
You're acting like this is on one side. This is happening on both sides. So if you feel like this thing has gotten too personal and you don't like when this happens and this happens, you have to realize there's fans, blogs, or whoever doing that to the other side. And I told Anthony, I said, brother, at some point, y'all don't got to be friends, but y'all need to come together to kind of calm the fans down, because right now they think they're beefing like Bloods and Crips. If you're saying you don't like...
Who's starting it, though? Who's starting it? Is Drake starting it? He's starting it. Dot somewhere minding his business, making his money on tour. What is Drake doing? All these little memes and stuff. What are you doing? Matter of fact, you starting it. Don't sit up there and talk about, yeah, we need to come to the round table and we need to figure out something and figure out why is everybody beefing, because the fans, they think, no, you doing that, Ninja. Remember, Mr. Instigator? Watch this chat. Yeah, watch this chat. Watch me instigate this chat. You think this world evolve around your chat. That's the problem, bro.
You don't like when wives are put up on screen. You don't like when wives are being discussed. You don't like when daughters, sons. I don't think Drake likes when his son gets mentioned, or his baby mama, or his sexual history, or his lack thereof, or making assumptions about what he may have. This is happening on both sides. So, when I hear them put that frustration out to me, I agree. But it's a mutual in a both ways thing that I don't think, even if they're like, all right, Act, could you not amplify certain things? Well, there's other things being amplified. We're usually trying to just be a neutral arbiter. Now, obviously, sometimes, and I'm speaking about extensions of other pages that clearly are in the fold, we may lean a certain type of way because, fuck with Drake.
Those alternate pages are going to be Akademiks pages that I was just talking about. And like I said, the person that was always talking about the people that were getting involved first was Drake. The family involved, Drake. The people that are confronting him now, Drake had mentioned those people first.
He said, Act.
Talk that talk, Bill. Talk that talk.
Why you put that boy on your stream? He got me in Drake's case. And I said, dog, I've put people on stream that accuse Drake of whatever. You see, that's the thing that, I stand full steadfast on that.
Anthony Saleh has questioned academics about the bot streaming. He tells them, why did you talk about me with that alleged whistleblower talking about the pay for stream, the payola that you were accusing us of? Because it was in that stream where academics was named in the lawsuit accusing Anthony Saleh paying somebody to a fake or bot stream, not like us. It says whistleblower claims contact was with Anthony Saleh, the guy Drake kept posting over and over again. However, it was dismissed because there wasn't enough evidence to prove that that was accurate. Not only that, in a later stream, Academics was talking to Whack 100, where Academics had said himself out his own mouth that he had spoke to somebody from Spotify and they denied the not like us botting rumors. He said that he had talked to his man on Spotify and said that the Kendrick streams are real. So all those allegations about Anthony Saleh and all these things about bot streaming, the minute that he saw Academics, he confronted him about that. Why did you talk about me like that and put me in that boy's lawsuit? But the next thing that comes out of Academics' voice is very interesting because this is when out of his own accord starts to talk about Julian. We know about Julian. Everybody knows where's Julian, the situation with Top 5 and all of that. But he tries to use this as an example that he covers everything despite it being at Drake's expense.
He got me in Drake's case, and I said, dog, I've put people on stream that accuse Drake of whatever. You see, that's the thing that, I stand full steadfast on that. I put somebody on my stream named Julian. He said Drake scammed him of millions of dollars. Then you had the K-bots who said Drake. That didn't help Drake. But what am I? I'm a media outlet.
Now, remember, Julian was the guy that people are accusing of Top 5, Bunt Dog being responsible of the disappearance of, allegedly. This is just the rumors and speculation that Academics ends up talking about. He's trying to make the point that he had brought this up despite it being more harmful to Drake than it would be to Kendrick Lamar. But my speculation is he used Julian as an example in this scenario to not only prove that he's willing to talk about things that would be bad for Drake, but at the same time mentioning this is also saying, I just covered this story. I don't know how deep this story goes. I let him on my platform.
Ack is lying, and he always know how to wiggle his way out of confrontation. This is the thing, bro. He said it before. He said, I ain't loyal to nobody. I ain't loyal to none of these ninjas. I'm loyal to my chat. That's what he said, man. That's what he said. And I don't put it past him. He might be jealous of Drake and Kendrick Lamar. You never know. You never know, bro. You never know. He came over here, came to America, was like, nah, I want to be Big Act. Why I'm not getting the notoriety that Kendrick and Lamar and Drake having? He probably jealous of both of them. You never know, man. You never know. He got a weird spirit. But y'all make sure y'all go tap in with the Ville, man. He got press. Academics got press. Now he trying to dance around acting like he held his own and all of that stuff. Notice he not telling us what they really said. He not telling us, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Big Cash signing out. I'm going, y'all.